The people have spoken. I posted a poll and you guys voted to see a video on CM Punk's failed UFC career. I have no idea how this video is going to go down, and I've never done a video like this before, but yeah, we're going to look at what happened when one of WWE's all-time great wrestlers transferred to real fighting, to the UFC. Before we get into it though, I would like to thank my Patreon backers all listed here. For more exclusive content and perks from me, check out my Patreon link down below. It would really help me during these trying times and would be very much appreciated. I've got some exclusive content coming out there soon, including some WCPW reviews, but let's stop wasting time and let's just get into this video.
Hey, this is your Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you are watching Top 10 Wrestling. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
So first of all, I know we all know who CM Punk is, but let's just explain how he even got into the UFC in the first place and give the Top 10 Wrestling trademark backstory that people already know about. So CM Punk started out his wrestling career in the backyard scene and would begin training in Chicago. His home promotion for his early career was IWA Mid-South, and from here he would get opportunities in other promotions such as TNA and specifically Ring of Honor, where he was one of their biggest all-time stars. He joined WWE, becoming part of the ECW brand Yuck, and cemented himself as one of the brand's top stars, winning the ECW title on one occasion. In 2008 and 2009, he was part of the SmackDown brand, where he was a multi-time world champion through cashing in his 2 Money in the Bank briefcases and feuding with Jeff Hardy. In 2011, he would take the WWE and the wrestling world by storm, cutting the pipe bomb promo and winning the WWE title at Money in the Bank 2011, and though WWE botched the angle a bit, Punk finished the year as the hottest star in wrestling and with the title, which he would hold for 434 days before losing to The Rock at the Royal Rumble 2013. Throughout 2013, he feuded with The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar and The Shield, and on the day of the Royal Rumble 2014, he made it to the final 4 of the match before being eliminated, but here he would begin a hiatus from the WWE due to frustrations with his direction, untreated injuries, and general bad conduct from WWE higher-ups. Punk would never return from this hiatus though, as he was officially released from the company on July 15, 2014, aka his wedding day. Yikes. After leaving the WWE, many fans were interested to see what Punk does next. Is he going to stay retired? Is he going to go to another wrestling promotion? What is he going to do? And sure enough, on the 6th of December 2014 at UFC 181, Punk announced that he had signed a multi-fight contract with the UFC. And to be honest, it was a good signing for the UFC. CM Punk was one of the hottest commodities in wrestling in the modern era, and his controversial exit from the company meant there was lots of fanfare to whatever he'd do next. The UFC saw the opportunity to sign someone with name value, and they did. He would use the name of CM Punk as his in-ring name as it was identifiable, and we were all left wondering when his first fight would be. He began training with Duke Rufus, and it was announced that he would be part of the welterweight division. In October 2015, Punk would get a shoulder injury, delaying his UFC debut until next year, and we were still left wondering, who is he going to face? When is his first match going to be? All the way until February 2016, when it was announced that he would be facing Mickey Gall on June 4th, 2016 at UFC 199. But days after the announcement, CM Punk was diagnosed with a herniated disc and underwent surgery, delaying the fight further to September 10th at UFC 203, and the fight would finally take place there. The fight would take place on the main card, Punk being one of the main attractions of this card, walking out to Cult of Personality, and at this point, Mickey Gall, his opponent, was 2-0, winning both fights by submission in the first round. Hindsight is 2020. And the fight begins. Gall immediately hits him with a double leg takedown. Punk tries to get out of the ground position, but can't as Mickey Gall strikes him clean multiple times, locks in the rear naked choke, strikes him some more, and Punk taps out, and it's over, and he lost. What? The fight lasted 2 minutes and 14 seconds in the first round, with Punk not getting any offense in. A disappointing debut and lost, to say the least. Though, Punk supposedly made $500k from this fight, so get that bag, man, I respect it. After being dominated like this, Punk's UFC future was uncertain, but it would soon be announced that he would be having another fight. He would be facing Mike Jackson at UFC 225 on June 9th, 2018. And it was in his hometown of Chicago, Illinois, no less. The crowd were entirely on his side, and in this fight, Punk did a lot better than his fight against Mickey. Punk actually managed to win the first round, landing some strikes and landing a single leg takedown. But it was all downhill from here, as the second round saw Punk spend nearly the entire round with Jackson on top of him, receiving strikes, and Jackson just toying with him. Then for round 3, they spent the round standing up and in the clinch for the most part, but Punk was just completely out of it. He was exhausted, and Jackson was very much in control and was just toying with him, which actually garnered him a lot of criticism, as many people thought that Jackson could have easily just finished Punk off and that he wasn't taking the fight seriously. The fight would go to decision for the first and only time in Punk's career, and Mike Jackson won unanimously, to the surprise of absolutely no one. After this, Dana White, the president of the UFC, said that it was unlikely that Punk would ever fight in the UFC again, and MMA personalities such as Joe Rogan heavily criticized Punk's UFC career, and just like that, that was Punk's time in the UFC, and he has never fought since. Let me give my thoughts on Punk's UFC career. Now, despite the fact that he made a lot of money, which I respect, and the UFC probably made a lot of money from Punk's name, it was a good idea, obviously, that they signed him, but Punk was never going to work in the UFC. He was never going to really win a fight. I mean, the odds were very much stacked against him. I mean, look at him. He was in his late 30s, going against these younger guys who were way more athletic than him and way more experienced than him. Like, you got to think about the fact that Punk had no prior experience in MMA or any sort of MMA background. I mean, for someone to train for about 2 years or under and then fight in the UFC, that is very uncommon, and Punk had to do that, so there was no chance he was going to win any of his fights. But regardless of how it went, how he lost both of his fights, I still respect Punk for getting in that octagon. I mean, people can die in there, it's scary as hell, and I sure as hell wouldn't get inside it. So Punk, you got my respect for that. Even Conor McGregor said the same thing, that he respects that Punk got in the octagon, and I say the same thing regardless of how his performances were. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. If you did enjoy, smack the like button, follow me on Twitter at Top 10 Wrestling, my Instagram is at I'm Tom Bell. I've never done a video like this before, so hopefully it goes down well. All that just rhymed. Subscribe, notifications on, check out my Patreon link down below in the description. I'll see you all soon, goodbye, and keep on rolling.
Sleeping on me at my feet is where you'll lay. Into your head down on your knees like you pray. It's cool, I continue to kick, push like Lupe. But if you ain't grinding with me, now the grind is where you'll stay. They want me quiet, you can watch me be discreet. Now I'm silent when I speak, mama telling me to kill the beats. Blood slowly